single day of the Trump administration, I will very simply put America first.
President Donald Trump's intent made with simplistic clarity at his January inauguration, and evidenced by the near frenetic pace in which his administration has moved. He has signed 139 executive orders, moved to slash the federal workforce, dismantling agencies like USAID that for decades played an outsized role in the global humanitarian space, while instituting a trade war that has left global markets on edge and attacked allies and foes alike, including South Africa.
I don't think Donald Trump's worldview has changed at all since 2016. I actually think it's quite consistent with some of the things he was saying back in the 80s. He still is very hard-nosed on trade. Obviously, we've seen with the tariffs. He is, again, generally opposed to allies who don't pay their own way, who are free riders. And he tries to strike deals with other countries, right? He uses US power to beat them over the head, whether that's military power, sanctions, the threat of tariffs, whatever it is, until they turn around and give him what he wants.
And while his worldview might not have shifted in the second term, his approach has.
Politically, I think Trump was more cautious in some ways. I mean, he would back off a little bit more frequently in the first term when he came under political pressure. We saw a little bit of that when he put a 90-day pause on these recent tariffs. But, I think that they're more emboldened, more extreme, more determined to enact the agenda that they had long wanted to enact.
A new poll from ABC News, The Washington Post and Ipsos finds that just 39% of respondents approve of Trump's handling of his job, down 6 percentage points since February, while 55% disapprove. According to the pollster, the previous low for a president at the 100-day mark, dating back to 1945, was Trump at the 100-day mark in 2017, when he achieved a 42% approval rating.
In these 100 days, a lot of what would have been considered unthinkable is transpiring. And I think that I see a number of threats against the democracy that I think many people have believed to be secure, foundational, solid, that those cracks, and some of those existed, before Trump came into office, but he's been able to sort of go into those cracks and widen those cracks in a way that I think is a larger threat to the democracy that the United States has known and that the world has depended on.
Protests against the administration and his key advisor Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency have swept across the country, while the Republican-controlled Congress has avoided any confrontations with the executive despite their oversight role. That has left the federal courts to step in as a check on Trump's power.
I think there's a general feeling, though, that the opposition has to do more, that marches are not enough, and that marches will, sure, they get attention the day of, but what kind of actual change do they bring about? And so if you think about sort of movements for change, it has to be very consistent, it has to be really focused. I don't know if we have seen clearly yet what that opposition is or will be.
True to his word, he has cracked down on illegal immigration, with illegal crossings at the US-Mexico border falling to its lowest levels in March.
To watch how he has managed to close down illegal border crossings over his first not even 100 days. Indeed, this happened in the first month, that you saw that from tens of thousands of people crossing every day, you were down to the single or double digits of people trying to cross the border illegally. That told us something very important. It told us that with will, it could be done.
An administration moving at breakneck speed, at least in its first 3 months. President Trump has also withdrawn the United States from the Paris Climate Change Agreement, the World Health Organization, and the UN Human Rights Council, preferring a unilateral approach to the consensus-driven ideals of multilateralism. His second term started with some momentum on ending the war in Gaza, only later to see the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas collapse. His unilateralism is also evident in how his administration is playing a mediation role in the Russia-Ukraine war, where frustration at the slow pace towards a ceasefire is beginning to emerge, and how it has implemented its trade policy with nations around the world. 100 days and counting, with 1,361 more days to come in his second term. Shervin Bryce-Pease, SABC News, New York.